Welcome everyone. My name is Shika Uriya. Today I am going to discuss about global human resources strategies, and we shall see a comparative analysis of international human resource management practices across four continents: America, Eurasia, Africa, and Oceania. IHRM manages employees across countries with diverse cultural, legal, and economic environments and support multinational companies by enabling global expansion. Understanding cultural and regional differences is essential for organizational success. Cultural awareness enhances IHRM effectiveness by improving communication and strengthening leadership as leaders adapt their style to local expectations. A key problem is the management of cultural differences, which can affect communication, collaboration, and overall employee performance. As multinational enterprises expand their operations across borders, the need to reconcile cooperative objectives with culturally specific expectations becomes central to HRM strategy. Hofstede's cultural six dimensions provide a foundational framework for understanding how cultural values influence work behavior, allowing HR professionals to adapt management practices such as hiring, motivation, and leadership to diverse cultural contexts. Some examples of the dimensions of culture are power distance, which refers to how societies manage inequality and hierarchy. Individualism versus collectivism captures the tension between personal autonomy and group affiliation. Beyond culture, regional factors such as labor laws, economic conditions, and social norms shape HR decisions. Legal and regulatory differences across countries challenge organizations to manage diverse labor laws, tax rules, and employment standards. Non-compliance may lead to legal repercussions, harm to the organization's reputations, and difficulties in sustaining employees' relations. Organization behavior in the United States is strongly influenced by national culture, often explained using Hofstede's cultural framework. Individualistic cultures means employees prioritize personal goals, independence, and self-reliance. US has low power distance, that is, a culture of harsh hierarchy is not found as power is equally distributed among employees. USA measures its performance on a short-term basis, having short-term objectives to achieve. This further leads individuals of normative society to give false results and more profits. Multinational corporations worldwide are experiencing challenges in establishing global human resource management practices in their subsidiaries. Below are listed a few key challenges faced by human resources in USA. I will discuss on immigration policies. Cross-border hiring implies a lot of complicated visa regulations, legal liabilities, and ongoing oversight of workers, which make immigration compliance a risky field to be employed in as a global HR practitioner. In USA, immigration policies influence HR planning in several ways, such as visa restrictions. Companies face difficulties hiring foreign talent due to caps on H-1B visas and lengthy approval processes. Uncertainty in policy changes. Frequent shifts in immigration rules create instability for workforce planning. Temporary workforce needs. Industries like agriculture and hospitality rely heavily on seasonal visas, H-2A, H-2B, which are subject to political debate and regulatory hurdles. Organization behavior in China. Key HR practices such as grading systems, pay structures, performance management, and major talent decisions are tightly controlled from headquarters. This also includes a strong striver culture and long working hours. Key challenges. The competitive environment in companies like Huawei can lead to stress and burnout, particularly in roles that demand long working hours and constant upskilling. Organizations' behavior in Japan. Japanese culture is characterized by collectivism, moderate power, distance, strong uncertainty, avoidance, masculinity, and a long-term orientation. Japanese organizations treat harmony not as politeness but as a functional mechanism for stability, coordination, and long-term performance. Key challenges in Japan. Despite the need for talent and the high degree of business globalization, Japan still struggles to integrate foreign talent in their workforces at home and abroad. In Japan, foreign employees are not well integrated because of the unique Japanese culture, working environment, and traditional Japanese style HR practices. HR in China and Japan is shaped heavily by their political and economic realities. In China, its strong state involvement, localized labor enforcement, and rapid economic growth push HR teams to focus on compliance, forced talent development, and city-specific flexibility. In Japan, government work style reforms, an aging population, and labor shortages drive HR to prioritize stability, inclusion, and structured flexibility. As a result, China responds best to flex time, hybrid work, and digital mobility and labor compliance, while Japan benefits from telework with clear rules, core hours, flex time, and programs for women and older workers. Adapting HR to these local conditions is essential for attracting talent and sustaining performance in both markets. In essay, OB is shaped by the broader social, institutional, and regulatory environment. In Nigeria, OB is shaped by institutional weakness and regulatory gaps. Nigeria's OB is heavily influenced by weak formal institutions, inconsistent enforcement of labor laws, and limited regulatory oversight. In South Africa, HR contributes to social development by advancing transformation through employment equity, skill development programs, and inclusive hiring. HR helps correct historical inequalities and expands opportunities for those who are excluded for generations. By supporting learnerships, apprenticeships, and community training centers, HR strengthens the skills base that the economy urgently needs. In Nigeria, HR plays a different but equally vital role. In a context marked by high youth unemployment, informality, and institutional gaps, HR becomes a stabilizing force. By promoting transparent recruitment, ethical leadership, and fair employment practices, HR helps rebuild trust in organizations. And by investing in vocational training, entrepreneurship, support, and local hiring, HR empowers communities and creates pathways out of poverty. Australia and New Zealand are among the most multicultural countries in the world. Organizational behavior in both countries are shaped by cultural diversity and unique workplace legislation, which are listed below. In this slide, more emphasis is laid on talent acquisition and employees' well-being. Australia and New Zealand face unique geographic challenges. Remote locations limit access to skilled talents, especially in mining, agriculture, healthcare, and regional public services. The solution is to invest in digital onboarding to facilitate recruitment of talent workers and to offer relocation incentives and lifestyle-based employer branding. One of the initiatives taken by companies to improve work-life balance of employees is remote workforce management. While there are benefits to employees, for example, save traveling time, providing more flexibility in caring for family, employees can become socially isolated, miss opportunities for promotion. Telecommuting also brings risk regarding mental health. To solve this problem, some companies prefer a hybrid sweet spot, balancing working at home with some time spent in office and other flexible work arrangements like flexible hours. Companies are making use of hybrid work optimization tools to monitor engagement, manage flexible scheduling, and support remote collaboration. This slide highlights the key aspects of leadership style in geopolitical context, cultural dimensions, and IHRM practices across the 4 continents. Here, I'd like to offer a concise comparative perspective on how key HR functions manifest across America, Eurasia, Africa, and Oceania. These 4 functions form the backbone of HR practice across regions, even though their execution varies significantly. IHRM shows both convergence in terms of technology, performance metrics, and divergence, which include culture and regulation. Based on research findings from Harvard Business Impact 2025 Global Leadership Development Study, I have also attached a bar chart representing organization priorities and the AI imperative. This 2025 survey highlights more than 14 countries and across industries. AI-based talent management in internal mobility systems are now the top workforce priority, with 53% of organizations investing in these tools. Upskilling and reskilling efforts are also gaining traction. Below are listed some of the future trends of IHRM. Based on my research on the comparative analysis, I conclude that Oceania consistently demonstrates HR practices that are universally applicable, evidence-based, aligned with global post-COVID realities, culturally flexible and inclusive, and legally robust but not overly rigid. These qualities make Oceania's HR insights the earliest for multinational firms to adopt across different regions. These are the references used for my presentation. Thanking you for your attention.